Hello lovelies, my name is Ifelua, and if this is your first time here or you're a returning subscriber, you're highly welcome to this channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to draft a princess that Bustier. And if this is something you're interested in learning, you'd want to hit on the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel for more so tutorials like this, and also turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next video. So guys, that being said, let's dive into today's video. Alright guys, the first thing I did was to go ahead to draw out my starting line, which is going to serve as the shoulder line. After which I'm going to place my tape just as a semi doing and put in my vertical measurements. So I'm going to mark my shoulder to bust point, I'm going to mark my shoulder to under bust and my shoulder to waist. After making the markings, the next thing I did was to go ahead to draw a line across each point. So I have my bust point line, I have my under bust line, and I have my waistline. So I'm going to go ahead to label this part the bust, this part the under bust, and this part the waist. After that, I'm going to come to the shoulder line as a semi and go ahead to mark my shoulder measurements divided by 2. So the shoulder of 14 divided by 2, which is 7, and I'll mark the neck width of 3 inches and the neck depth of 3 inches. After that, I'm going to place my ruler like so and go ahead to square out the points. Then I'll place my curve ruler inside the box and draw out the curve. So now I have the neck shape. Next, from this point where I mark my shoulder measurement, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. After which, I'm going to take my ruler and connect it back to meet the neck line. So after that, the next thing I did is on this point where I came down by 1 inch, I'm going to go ahead to mark my armhole depth. So I'm going to be marking the armhole depth of 7 inches. After which, I'm going to take my ruler and draw a line across the point. So this new line is going to serve as the chest line. So I'm going to label this part the chest line. Now on this chest line, I'm going to go ahead to place the same measurement I have on my shoulder line, which is my shoulder measurement divided by 2, that is 7. I'm going to come to the chest line and go ahead to mark the 7 inches. Then I'll take my ruler and connect it back to form a straight line, just as a semi doing. So after that, on this same chest line, I'm going to go ahead to mark my bust measurement divided by 4. So bust of 32 divided by 4, which is 8. And I'm going to come to this line, which is the armhole line, and mark the midpoint. So the midpoint of 7 is 3.5. After which, from this point here, I'm going to go in by 0.75. Now I'll take my curve ruler and go ahead to connect these 3 points together. After that, the next thing to do is to come to the bust line and mark the bust span divided by 2. So the bust span of 6 divided by 2 is 3 inches. Then I mark 3 inches on the bust line. Whereas on the under bust line, you are going to minus half an inch from your bust span. So instead of 3 inches, I went ahead to mark 2.5 on the under bust line. And also on the waistline, I marked 2.5. Now I'm going to take my ruler and connect the points together, just as a semi doing. So guys, after that, the next thing you're going to do is to come to the armhole side. On this armhole side, you're going to go ahead to mark 4 inches. So this 4 inches is going to be where our princess line is going to be. After marking the 4 inches, the next thing I did was to take my ruler and go ahead to connect it to meet the bust point. Now you're going to come to the under bust line and go ahead to mark 2 inches, which is going to serve as our dart intake. Then on the waistline, I went ahead to mark 2 inches also. After which, I'm going to take my ruler and go ahead to connect the 2 points together to form a straight line. On the bust line, I'm going to go ahead to come down by half an inch. After coming down by half an inch, I'm going to take my curve ruler and go ahead to connect the points down to meet the under bust. Now, from this bust point, I'm going to go up by half an inch. After going up by half an inch, I'm going to come right to this line here. After which, I'm going to go up by 0.5 and come down by 0.5. So the essence of going up by 0.5 and coming down by 0.5 is to tighten the armhole side. After which, I'm going to take my ruler and connect it to meet these points here on the bust line.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us.
So guys, after connecting the points together, I'm going to go ahead to curve out this part here. This is to eliminate the sharp edge on our bust line. After curving out this part here, the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead to extend this line like so. After which, I'm going to measure what I have on the armhole side. So that intake I took for this armhole is 1 inch. Now I'm going to go ahead to extend this line by 1 inch. So now I'm going to take my curve ruler and go ahead to reshape my armhole. So now we are through with this part. And this shaded part is where I'm going to cut out. I'll also go ahead to shade out this part, which is the part I'll be cutting out. So after all this, the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead to put in my horizontal measurement. So on the bust line, I went ahead to mark my bust measurement of 32 divided by 4, which is 8. Then on the waistline, I went ahead to mark my waist measurement divided by 4, which is 6.5. Then I'm going to go ahead to replace this dart intake of 2 inches. I'm going to mark it back on the waistline. So guys, after that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead to connect all points together. After which, I'm going to cut it out.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon.
So guys, let's move to the back piece. For the back piece, I've gone ahead to draw out my starting line, and I've also gone ahead to mark 1 inch, which is going to serve as my zipper allowance. So guys, from this line here, I'm going to go ahead to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and also mark my neck width of 3 inches. Then I'm going to mark my neck depth of 1 inch. After which I'm going to take my curve ruler and connect the neckline like so. Now from this point here where I marked my shoulder measurements, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then I'll take my ruler and connect the points to meet the neckline. After that, I'm going to place my tape on this point and go ahead to mark my armhole depth. So I'll be marking the armhole depth of 7 inches. After which I'm going to draw a line across the point. So this new line is going to serve as my chest line. Now from this chest line, I'm going to go ahead to mark my shoulder measurements divided by 2, which is my shoulder measurement of 14 divided by 2, that is 7. Then I'll take my ruler and go ahead to connect this point just as you see me doing. So now after drawing the armhole line, I'm going to come to this chest line and go ahead to mark my bust measurements divided by 4, which is bust of 32 divided by 4, that is 8. After which I'm going to come to this line here and go ahead to mark out the midpoint. Now from this midpoint, I went in by 0.5. After that, I'm going to take my curve ruler and go ahead to connect the 3 points together. So guys, the next thing I did was to go ahead to place my tape on my shoulder line. After which I'm going to mark my shoulder to waist measurements. So shoulder to waist measurement of 14 inches. Then I'm going to take my ruler and draw a line across the point. So guys, for the back piece, I want you to know that you're not going to be needing your shoulder to bust point or your shoulder to under bust. The only measurements you're going to be needing is your chest line and also your shoulder to waist. Now guys, I'm going to come to the waistline. Then on the waistline, I went ahead to mark my bust span divided by 2. So the bust span of 6 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 3 inches. After which I'm going to come to the chest line and go ahead to mark my bust span divided by 2. After that, I'm going to take my ruler and connect the points together to form a straight line. Next, for the dart intake, I'm going to come to the waistline and go in by 0.5 and go out by 0.5. After which, I'm going to come to the chest line and go down by 1 inch. After that, I'm going to take my ruler and connect the points together. So this is going to give us our dart for the back piece. After that, the next thing I did was to come to the waistline and go ahead to mark my waist measurement divided by 4, which is 6.5, and I also measure the dart intake I took, which is 1 inch, and add it to my waist measurements. Now the next thing I did is to go ahead to connect the points together. To give your back piece a princess dart, I came to the armhole side and marked 3.5. After which I'm going to go ahead to connect that point to meet this point here, just as you see me doing. So guys, that is all about the drafting of a princess dart. Now I'm going to come to this line and extend it a bit, after which I'm going to take my curve ruler and go ahead to reshape the armhole curve. Now I'm going to move to the waistline. So guys, on this line here, from the waistline, you are going to go in by 0.5. After which, from that point, you are going to go ahead to mark 1 inch, which is for our zipper allowance. Then I'm going to take my ruler and extend my chest line like so. After extending the chest line, I'm going to connect this point to meet the chest line. So the essence of going in by 0.5 on the waistline is to eliminate the zipper bulge at the back. So by doing this method, you'll be able to eliminate that zipper bulge on your back piece. So now this new line is going to be our zipper allowance. Then this shaded part is going to be where I will cut out. So guys, that's all about the back piece. Now I'm going to go ahead to cut it out.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna.
So guys, if this video was helpful, show some love by hitting the like button and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. Also, do not forget to hit on the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel for more sewing tutorials like this, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future content. So guys, thanks for watching and see you in my next video.